Hey, it's Pastor David. I'm here with our Thursday at 3 update. And today I'd like to share 3 observations from our recent annual conference. Annual conference, to remember, is the gathering of all United Methodist churches in the state of Florida. Well, pretty much the state of Florida. There's a few over in the Panhandle that aren't included in this conference. We get together every year in June to conduct family business, to hear about the ministries that we share resources. We pool our resources. We're called the Connectional Ministry. We pool our resources to do greater ministries around the world, to ordain clergy, to have a memorial service for clergy who have passed in the previous year, to celebrate retirements, to worship and to teach, and to just have a gathering. And so about 550 churches sent their elected representatives, their delegates, to Lakeland last week. And we had a really great annual conference, perhaps the best annual conference I've had in my time as an ordained clergy. I've been ordained 32 years now. I started going before ordination. So in 35 years of annual conference, this would be a highlight. And there were 3 reasons for this. And the first is that the clergy, the remaining clergy in Florida, United Methodist clergy, are united. And I saw this most in the clergy vote on the candidates for ordination. And I talked about this 4 or 5 weeks ago. It's in our newsletter. Part of the process, part of the family business at annual conferences for the clergy to vote on the candidates who are being raised up for ordination, and to take one step. It's one step in a 4 or 5 year process to affirm or not affirm the work of the boards and the churches that have gone before. As a United Methodist clergy, I'm appointed to this church. I'm appointed around the conference, around the state, as the conference deems. I'm not a member of this local church, and I'm a member of the conference. And as a member, I have a responsibility to vote on the ordination of the candidates, not on behalf of this church, but on my own conscience as part of my work. This year, there was a tremendous spirit of uniting in the clergy vote. They voted on the class from last year and from this year. And while there were a few that abstained, about 20 folks out of 330 that abstained, there was a 90% acceptance rate or approval rate of every candidate that came before us. And that was a moment of celebration and joy for those who have been working so long and so hard, and for those last year that got kind of hung up in the process as the church went through its debate. And so just a lot of joys and celebration, and a uniting of clergy, a clear statement, over 90% approval, a clear statement that we're on the same page. And it was extra sweet for us because 2 of those candidates this year are from our church, Rushing Kimball and John Shantz, and they both were approved. And so that was just a wonderful time and a wonderful moment in my annual conference. So clergy are united. Second, the conference, that is the collective group of United Methodist churches in Florida, are moving in a renewed direction. There is a fresh spirit. Bishop Berlin, our new bishop, led a great conference. He really set the tone by the first night and his opening address, to encouraging us to bless each other wherever we are, and to bless each other where we are in our journey, and call us to move forward in making disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world, And it just set the tone. And there was a lot of celebration. There was a lot of excitement about the ministries that we share together. Just a sense of we're moving past this time of disagreement and discernment. Well, certainly there's work to be done. There are more churches that will be disaffiliating. There's 2 special sessions coming up at the end of this year, one in September and December, and I think there are about 60 more churches on the list that will disaffiliate, that have gone through the paperwork to disaffiliate. Overall, in the denomination, about 15% of churches will leave the denomination. In the South, in the United States, remember we're on 4 continents, in the South in the United States, that range can be between 25 and 30%. We have more traditionalists in the South than, let's say, the Northeast or out West. But even so, 15% for the denomination is not a split, it's a splinter. And it's going to be far less than perhaps you get the sense of in watching all the different media on this. Clearly in Florida, it's going to be a little higher, between 25 and 30%. And so we have that work to do, and that's going to affect the conference. I'm chair of the finance committee for the conference, and we've been working to reduce the budget of the conference overall. It's about a $14 million budget. We reduce it by $2 million for next year, and we'll continue to do that. The bishop and the cabinet are committed to aligning the budget, our expenses, to what our resources are that will be coming in. And so that's going to be some hard work to say, how do we reduce and make sure we're 25% less than we were while still being vibrant in ministry. And so there's work to be done, but there's a renewed sense of purpose and a renewed sense of excitement. It's impactful for our church because in the denomination, in the conference that will remain, we will be the church with the largest apportionment share that's based upon our budget. And it is about $280,000 a year that we pay. And so we're significant to the conference. We're an important part of that. And we do care that the conference is mindful of the impact of this season on our own apportionments. I'm grateful for that. Third, just want to celebrate that we participate in a lot of different ministries that we don't see, but have a direct blessing on us. In our apportionment money, the money we pay to the higher church, that goes to support colleges and nursing homes and camp ministry and missionaries and military chaplains and all kinds of ministries that we don't talk about, but we participate in through financial and prayer support. One of those ministries that we participate in and directly blesses us is college campus ministry, known as the Wesley Foundations. We have Wesley Foundations in Florida at University of Miami, at FIU, at UCF, at U of F, at Florida State. And so we have a number of vibrant college campus ministries that we participate in. And we have a number of college students from our very own family that are a part of these. My son, Noah, at Florida State, has found his people in the Wesley Foundation at Florida State. It's just been a changed experience for him to have a group of folks that share the same values and have the same faith. We have a number of students at the Florida State Wesley Foundation. We have a number of students from our family at the U of F Wesley Foundation, and so forth. And so we're blessed by this ministry that we participate in broadly through our connection to the bigger church. Thank you for your part in allowing us to go and sending a number of representatives. We had about 10 folks from our church serving in a number of different capacities, either representing our church or our district. And so we were well represented in the week. And thank you for your continued prayers as we move forward. Pray for our church and for our denomination in these days. Thank you. We'll see you on Sunday. God bless.